Welcome to Fabric Monday. Today we'll talk about Direct Lake and Mixed Mode. Since Direct Lake was released, it can only be used in a complete Direct Lake semantic model. We can create a mixed mode semantic model containing Direct Lake table and other storage model tables like import mode or direct query. We can't mix the modes, or we couldn't. Now we can mix the modes. The feature is not totally complete as you see on the demonstration, but we can already work with this feature. Let's see how it works. Here we have Power BI Desktop, and our first step is to actually create the model. Let's use the OneLake catalog to get the first information from our lakehouse. I'll use my lakehouse called Interlake, and I'll use the connect button to connect to OneLake. In this way, I'm creating a direct lake connection through OneLake, something we saw in previous videos. This semantic model needs to be saved in the portal, so I need to give a name to this semantic model. Let's call mixed model, and I will save it in the Interlake workspace, and I'll select one table, the table fact sale. It contains 1 year of sale information. Okay, this table will come in the direct lake mode. The first table is already in the semantic model using the direct lake storage mode. We can see here the storage mode as direct lake. But in the Power BI Desktop, it doesn't allow me to proceed. I can't use get data anymore. And if I try to use OneLake catalog, I'll be importing more tables in direct lake mode. I can't use another mode in Power BI Desktop. In this way, it's time to close Power BI Desktop and work in the portal. Here is the portal with my workspace and my semantic model, which at the moment is only a direct lake semantic model. Let's open the semantic model. Choose the option to open the semantic model and change the model from the viewing mode to the editing mode. That's it, and the big surprise, now we can use the get data. We can use get data to get tables from other sources and in different modes. Sometimes it may be interesting to get tables from the same lakehouse. However, in different modes, I would like some tables working direct lake and some tables working in import mode. It may be useful. But if I go to the OneLake catalog and try to get information from the same lakehouse, for example, it will only bring tables in direct lake mode. It doesn't allow me to choose the mode. So I need to use get data. Even if my table is from the same lakehouse, I need to use get data. On the source, I use SQL Server. SQL Server, isn't this strange? Well, my lakehouse has a SQL endpoint. That SQL endpoint behaves like a SQL Server. I can connect to it. So I use the connection string, retrieve it from the SQL endpoint, and I give the name of the database, Interlake. Let's define a name for this connection. Direct Lake Experiment. Authentication kind, organization account. Using self principle would be better. It's up to you. Then next. Now I can select the tables and I'll be able to import these tables. And I'll select all the dimension tables in import mode. Let's transform. You can see that I can use Power Query on these tables. This means that these tables are actually in import mode. Let's confirm that. Let's click Save. And we got an error message. During the loading data process, when it reaches the stage of refreshing data, it results in an error message. Isn't this working? Will this fail like this? Why am I making this video? Let's see the error message. The error message tells us that we cannot refresh the semantic model because the semantic model uses the full data connection without explicit connection credentials. It's a misconfiguration mistake. The process to create this model in the UI should handle this mistake, but it's not. It's not handling this mistake. So we need to continue editing, and we will only be affected by the fact that we can't refresh the data. It asks us to configure connection now. It is asking us to confirm our identity. Yes, connect. And save. On the second time, it didn't try to make a refresh, but what's important here at this moment is that I have import mode tables and direct lake mode tables in the same semantic model. Let's close the semantic model. We can notice there is an error in the refresh. Yes, the last refresh failed. I need to ensure the connection configuration of the semantic model is correct to make the refresh of the import tables. So let's go to settings, gateway and cloud connection. See, both connections are in the full single sign-on mode. This creates the failure. The semantic model can't be refreshed in this way. So we need to change the connection to my direct lake, and the other one, for the other one I have two connections created. It doesn't mind which one I choose. Apply. It's done. Let's get back to the workspace, and I can refresh the semantic model. That's it. Refresh successful, and I have a semantic model with mixed mode using direct lake and import mode in the same semantic model. I'm back to Power BI Desktop. In the previous attempts, I couldn't transform my semantic model in a mixed mode using Power BI Desktop. But let's see what happens when I try to edit the semantic model in Power BI Desktop. I'll select my semantic model, and in the connection it can select if I'm connecting or editing. I'm editing. And here we are. We have our tables, and the tables are using mixed mode. One use import mode, many of them use import mode, the dimension tables, and the fact table use direct lake mode. In this way, I can continue building this semantic model using Power BI Desktop. Power BI Desktop can't transform the semantic model in mixed mode, but after the semantic model is transformed in mixed mode by the portal, Power BI Desktop can edit it. Let's review what we saw on this video. You can't create in desktop, but you can edit. You can't use the Power BI Desktop to transform the semantic model in mixed mode, but after the portal transforms it, you can edit the semantic model. The UI doesn't make it easy in any way. You can't use the OneLake catalog to get tables in import or direct lake mode. You need to use different connections. It complains about connection during the creation. This is clearly a bug. The UI should handle this issue. It requires a cloud connection before the first refresh. We need to fix the configuration before making the first refresh. In this way, we can see that the feature is working, but the feature still has some bugs around it and around the toolset used to build the semantic model, which makes it in a very early stage. In fact, this video is showing this feature in a very early stage. Today is the stage this feature is, but soon this video will become a historical part of the Microsoft Fabric evolution, as many others in the Fabric Monday playlist. Thank you very much for watching, and see you next week.